Are you thinking about self-publishing on Amazon? Or have you ever wondered what are other places to publish a book away from Amazon? Then you'll want to hear more about an aggregate publishing platform in this video about the PublishDrive review. Stay tuned. Welcome to Self-Publishing with Dale, and if you're new here and you want to learn how to publish your book and build your brand, make sure that you subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss a single post. Late in 2017, the indie author community was all abuzz about an aggregate publisher closing its doors in early 2018. That publisher was formerly known as Pronoun Publishing. They had many great features about them, but one of them that I enjoyed the most was having access to the then inaccessible Google Play books. Desperate to find other options in January of 2018, I was searching around and I had a couple of viewers that recommended a new aggregate publisher called PublishDrive. To my surprise, they had a very simple interface that actually got it to where I could migrate my books from Pronoun Publishing over to PublishDrive with the click of a button. I was really happy and it saved me tons of time. But what exactly is PublishDrive and what exactly is an aggregate publisher? Believe it or not, Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing is not the only self-publishing platform in the game today. In fact, there are many of distribution avenues out there. If you try to publish to each and every single one of them, you're gonna nickel and dime your time. Enter the aggregate publisher. Aggregate publishers really help it to where you can feed out your publication to numerous other platforms. This is where PublishDrive comes into play. Similar to the other self-publishing platforms out there, it's free to upload and free to use. All you need is an EPUB for your interior files and a JPEG for your book cover. Now, don't worry, if you get lost, they do have a help desk and they're super responsive, I can assure you on that. And not to worry, at an additional cost, they actually do offer formatting and editing services, so that way you have your book fully polished before it hits the marketplaces. And boy, does PublishDrive have a ton of different marketplaces and reach that you can either opt into or opt out of. And these distributors include Amazon, Apple iBooks, Google Play, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, Scribd, Overdrive, Dang Dang, CNP Reading in China, Playster, Odillo in Spain, Bookmate, Gardeners, Mackin, Perlego, Ciando, 24 Symbols, eCentral in Southeast Asia, Ekanive and MultimediaPlaza.com, who are both in Hungary, Bookshout, Tolino in Germany, Eletolz in Hungary as well, Tookbook in the Croatian ebook market, and Elephant.ro with limited availability at the time of this recording. And it should be noted that each one of these distribution avenues have a wide array of storefronts online today. What exactly are the pros and cons of using PublishDrive? Well, here we go. Let's start it out with the pros. 1. Easy to use dashboard with a simple user interface. I really enjoy their dashboard for its simple and easy to use interface. Everything is exactly where you expect it to be, and when in doubt, there is always the help option at the very top right corner of the window. If you're a visual person, you're going to appreciate the graphs and charts that cover the platforms, regions, and categories of your books as well as the sales. 2. Responsive support. All right, this right here should probably get an extra pro on it because they are super responsive, and it's not just on their actual platform itself. Going out to social media, they have an exemplary team. In fact, Zofia from PublishDrive runs an excellent Facebook group, and I highly recommend that you check it out. 3. Attention to detail for the indie author. I haven't been with PublishDrive for too long, but But as soon as I joined their platform, there was one thing I could sense right out the gate, and they are very indie author centric. They're constantly trying to tweak and improve their models, and even when you have issues, concerns, or questions, their support really bends over backwards to make sure that you're taken care of. This means a lot to me, and especially when you're dealing with aggregate publishing, because you're going out to numerous platforms, so you need to make double sure that all of your eggs are accounted for and all the ducks are in a row. But I have to tell you, it's not all sunshine and roses, and I do have to talk about the cons of publishing on PublishDrive. 1. Native ads for ebooks. Alright, so this isn't so much an issue with PublishDrive as it is with aggregate publishing altogether. I don't know of any aggregate publisher out there that you're able to set up native ads. For instance, if you want to run Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing ads, you're going to have to actually upload your book to Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing to use the Amazon advertising platform. Same thing goes if you want to advertise over on Apple iBooks. You need to natively upload it there. This is one of the sacrifices that you're going to have to take if you're going to use aggregate publishing. However, in PublishDrive's defense, they actually have some great resources on advertising and other avenues to drive traffic to the different stores that your book is available through. Kudos, PublishDrive. 2. Slow delisting process. I've delisted or unpublished some books before. However, one thing I'd noticed is it is really slow. That is one of the sacrifices that you have to make when you're publishing to numerous different platforms. So be aware that if you utilize their wide array of distribution avenues, that if you go to delist or unpublish your book to say go exclusive to Amazon KDP, the problem lies in having to wait for each one of those avenues to clear up. But the good news is PublishDrive has your back in that they will let you know on a side panel of the dashboard when they have been delisted or unpublished on each one of the sites. I ran into a bit of an issue with one of my books where I was concerned that it was not unpublished for about a month. Reached out to PublishDrive, they were actually able to confirm that it was delisted on that site, so I was able to take this book back to an exclusive reach in the KDP Select program off of PublishDrive. 3. Ebook conversion fees. PublishDrive is really cool about this in that they offer at least one conversion free of charge. So that right there is going to be really good if you're a newbie self-publisher. However, if you're not new to this game, you need to be prepared to either pay for their formatting services or get your book formatted elsewhere into the EPUB format so you're able to upload it to this platform. Do I find this a negative? Not necessarily. There are so many services that are dirt cheap out there, and if their track record's any indication of what they're able to deliver through their formatting services, I have a feeling PublishDrive's formatting services is probably just as good, if not better. Overall, my thoughts about the aggregate distributor PublishDrive is that they are awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can bring to the indie author community and what else they have in store for us. So, in the meantime, if you want to check out more about PublishDrive, make sure you go through my referral link of selfpublishingwithdale.com/PublishDrive. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure that you share it with somebody else who would enjoy it too. Till later, it's been Self Publishing with Dale, and I'll see you soon.